addition to our program today that came about during our Week of Peace Education. Our programming that the Institute for Global Education carries out every year is listed on the back of your program guide. And it was during this Week of Peace Education that I received an email that put out a plea for the 1 million children of Syria who are suffering at this very moment in this dreadful conflict. Not unlike the children of other conflicts. Every time there's a war, the children are the worst to suffer, and you know it. We saw their faces being gassed and dying from a source of evil in their own country. We know that the immigrants are struggling on the borders. There's a great deal going on. I sent this email out to everybody I could think of, and Jerry Neal answered with a poem that he wrote called Syria. I asked him to come here today to share it with us. The poem comes from Redemption of the Tiger by Jerry Neal, which is now in his 6th printing. Jerry is a graduate of the Theological Seminary in Grand Rapids. He has a master's of theology in Old Testament, and boy, he knows his stuff. Mr. Neal is the author of several other books, including 3 anthologies of selected poems from the Serpentine, Love is a Garbage Heap, and Amen, the religious poems of Jerry Neal, as well as a volume of biblical, Semitic, Semitic, and archaeological studies, the Ugaritic texts, and the Bible, all published in 2012. And many of these books are being read around the world right now and being reviewed. Redemption of the Tiger is his collection, most recent, and his 6th edition. And my friend Jerry Neal would like to share his poem with you as we conclude our service today. Jerry?
Thank you. Thank you, Mike. I do have one more book out most recently called The Jewish Origins of Christianity and the Separation of Church and Synagogue. The poem I'm going to read is entitled Syria. It was started a couple of years ago, and it talks about 3 wars in Syria. The first one took place from an invasion from Mesopotamia 2,400 years before Jesus was born. The second one took place from an invasion from the sea 1,200 years before Jesus was born, and then it moves to modern times. It's called Syria. Over the dusty roads the army comes marching, the army of Naram-Sin to the city of Ebla. Women wailed in the streets as husband, lover, father, brother perished by the conqueror's sword. Women raped, taken captive, children turned to slaves, bodies left for the vultures and dogs. By sea came ships to Ugarit, a city in flames, looted, women ravished, enslaved, men killed, mothers, wives, girls bereaved. Now, tanks and helicopter gunships, planes bombing the cities, streets full of mortar fire, bombs and machine guns, the wife with her husband dead in her arms, children clutching their lifeless father, brother or lover cut to pieces, bodies in mass graves. Through Bashar, the killing, the crime, the suffering goes on. In Damascus, the missile delivers sarin gas. There is no place you can hide. There is no protection. And 1,000 people perish in agonizing death. Children dying with their parents and their grandparents. 400 children gasp and their pupils contract before they go into convulsions and die horribly. And in Ma'ula, one of the oldest Christian cities in the world, with some of the oldest churches, where they speak the language of Jesus, a Christian volunteer from Damascus, fighting to rescue them from Al-Qaeda, says, "Tell the US and the EU, we sent St. Paul from Antioch in Syria 2,000 years ago to liberate you from the darkness, and now you send terrorists to kill us." Kyrie eleison. Lord, have mercy on us. Thank you.